Alright guys, it's Mr. Lynch. Let's get ready for lesson 3.1C. We're going to write in graph and slope intercept form. Now today is going to be a little bit different than what we did in 3.1B, because as you guys can clearly see right here, this does not look like anything we've done this far. So, we got to change things up a little bit. But as always guys, before we start, make sure you hit like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you are ringing the notification bell so you can see these videos as soon as they come out. Now, let's graph this equation. Do we know how to... I don't know how to graph this. Do you guys know how to graph this? I don't graph equations that look like this. So we haven't graphed an equation that looks like this, so let's change it to something we do know how to graph. So we always have it as, y equals mx plus b, right? We always have it as y equals something. So let's get it to look like that. Let's change this so we just have y on the left side. So we'll subtract 4x from both sides. Okay, easy. 2y equals negative 4x plus 8. We're getting there. It's not quite just 1y. We want to know what 1y is, so let's divide by 2. And you get y is equal to negative 2x plus 4. We can graph this. Easy. This is slope-intercept form. Our y-intercept is 4, and our slope is negative 2. So I'm going to go write 1 down 2. Write 1 down 2, 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 write 1 down 2. Alright, pull out my ruler. And let's graph this. That looks good. Perfect. Ish. It works. Alright. There's very quick. Guys, all we've got to do here is change what the equation looks like so we can get it into y equals mx plus b. Now, there's a lot of these. I'm not going to do them all. All right? I'm going to do very few of these, actually, because that's not what I want to focus on in this lesson. So, 3x plus 2y equals negative 6. Well, we need to get y by itself. So, we're going to subtract 3x. So, we get 2y is equal to negative 3x minus 6. Divide by 2, and you get y equals negative 3 halves x minus 3. Easy. Y-intercept is negative 3. Now, negative 3 halves, it's rise over run, which means I'm going to go down 3 and right 2. Down 3, right 2. Okay. Now I'm going to go left 2 and up 3. Left 2 and up 3, left 2 and up. I think that's 3. I lost count. Left 2 and up. Shoot, 2, 3. You know what? It is... I have not had enough caffeine today. Alright, 56 degrees looks right, so we'll just graph the line like that. And it's close enough. Oh, man. So there's our line. So guys, like I said, this really isn't all that hard at all. We just need to make it so that we have y is equal to something. So I'm going to leave that to you guys. Actually, let's do this one right here. Subtract x from both sides. 2y equals negative 8. Y equals negative 4. Ooh, this is a fun one. So guys, no matter what x is, y equals negative 4. Negative 4, negative... Oops, that's positive 4. Don't make that mistake. Negative 4. Negative 4. Negative 4. We just have a horizontal line. And I know that my ruler can do this if I can get to stay at 0 degrees. There we go. Horizontal line at y equals negative 4. So all we got to do is change this to look like y equals something. This is where I really want to spend the majority of this video. So I have a health teacher who's writing a test with 2 sections. The entire thing is 40 points. And he wants the questions in section A to be worth 2 points, and section B to worth 4 points each. X is the number of questions in section A, and Y is the number of questions in section B. So the entire thing is 40 points. So we're going to say 40 is equal to all the points in section A plus all the points in section B. Well, how many points are in section A? Well, it's 2 points per question, and there are X questions. And it's 4 points in section B for Y number of questions. That's our equation. They're having us write this a little bit differently because they want to see that we can actually do this and change how things look and still be okay. So we have the entire test is worth 40. That's why I put the 40 here. And then X is the number of questions in section A. If each question is worth 2 points, then the total number of points from section A is 2x. If each question in section B is worth 4 points, and there are y of them, then the total number of points from section B is 4y. Now we need to graph this. We can't graph it as is. That's really hard. I would not want to do that. So let's change it. Let's make it y equals something. So let's subtract x from both sides. Then we get 40 minus 2x equals 4y. Divide both sides by 4. And you get 10. And I'll write this how you guys know it. All right. So we get y is equal to negative 2 divided by 4 is negative 1/2 x plus 10. Okay. So let's down here. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 10 is up here. And it's negative 1/2. Which means we go down 1 for each 2 that we go right. So I'm going to go down 1 and over 2. Down 1 over 2. And I'm going to keep following this pattern as far as I can. Personally, I like to take these all the way down to the x-axis so I know I'm doing it right. All right, let's draw this line. That looks good. All right, there we go. Now, let's pick a random ordered pair. So we got 5, 6, 12. Okay, so what does it mean? Well, if x is our number of questions in section A, that means there are 6 questions in section A. And that means there are 12 questions in section B. Because the x represents the number of questions in section A, and y represents the number of questions in section B. Now let's just double check that this adds up. Right? We need to check that this adds up. It needs to add up to 40, doesn't it? 2x plus 4y. Did I do this right? Yeah, I did it right. Oh, that's not 12. You guys let me play myself like that. Really? How could you guys do this to me? You guys are supposed to tell me when things like that happen. That's supposed to be a 7. Wow, come on, guys. Come on. I don't appreciate that. Let's see if that adds up. So 6 times 2 plus 7 times 4. Does that equal 40? Well, that's 12 plus 28, which does equal 40. We're good. So each point on this line gives us the number of questions in the specific sections. So if we have 16 questions in section A, so let's go over to 16. So that's 5, 10, 15. If we have 16 questions in section A, then in section B, we're going to have 2 questions. We just need to look for that point on the line. If we have 8 questions worth 4 points each, now that means we have 8 questions in section B. How many will be worth 2 points? Well, let's go up to y equals 8 and see what happens. So 5, 6, 7, 8. That means we have an x of 1, 2, 3, 4. So if we have 8 questions worth 4 points, then we're going to have 4 questions worth 2 points. Now what's going on here is that each point on this line, all right, this line stretches out infinitely. Each point on a line is a solution. So every ordered pair on here satisfies the equation. So like if I go down here, we can see that at, what is that? 5, 10, 15, 20. At 22, -1. All right. So if I have 22 questions worth 2 points and -1 question worth 4 points, then that's going to add up to 40. I mean, that's not realistic. That doesn't work in the physical scenario that we have because you can't have negative questions. But every single point on this line is a solution. All right. Now, let me ask you guys. Does it make sense to have fractional parts or negative parts or anything like that? Think about that. Like if we go here. So let's go, this is 11. 11 and 4.5. Can I have 4.5 questions? Like halfway through asking you a question, you only get 1 point for it? No, that's dumb. All right, that can't happen. So each of these points is a solution. The line's there because you guys need graphing practice, and I don't understand why the line is there. It bugs me. It literally bugs me that this happens, that they do this so often. Now, is it realistic for there to be 9 questions in section A? I want you guys to figure that out and explain. And we have another one of these, all right? I'll let you guys do that one. We're going to do this one. Difference between Eugene's age and Wyatt's age is 5 years. Eugene is older than Wyatt. Let X represent Eugene's age and Y represent Wyatt's age. So, if the difference between them is 5, then 5 is equal to, who's older, Eugene? 5 is equal to X minus Y. Okay, easy. So we need to write an equation. Now let's put this in slope-intercept form. Now what's going to be easier? I want a positive y. Should I subtract my x or should I add my y to both sides? Think about that for a few seconds. If I want a positive y, should I subtract x or add y to both sides? Well, it's easy. I should add y to both sides if I want y to be positive. Because then I get 5 plus y is equal to x. And then I just need to subtract 5 from both sides. Y equals x minus 5. Easy. Okay. So, with that being said, let's graph this. Our y-intercept is -5. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, what does this mean? Well, this point really doesn't make physical sense if you think about it. If Eugene is 0, then Wyatt is -5. Can you be -5 years old? No, you can't. So if we follow our slope, we're going to go up and increase by 1/1 because each person, surprisingly, whether you knew this or not, everyone gets a year older every year, which means their age is going to increase by 1. I mean, that's crazy. I didn't know that. Absolutely didn't know that when I started this lesson. And that's insane to me. How can someone get 1 year older every single year? I mean, I don't get it. Now, here's the thing, guys. Does it make sense to look at anything under our x-axis? I mean, at all. Does it make sense to look at anything down there? Well, no, it doesn't. Why doesn't it? Because, here's the kicker, because it doesn't matter at that point, because Wyatt isn't born yet. So, do they even know who Wyatt is? If Wyatt's -1 years old, does that really make sense? No. You don't think about people being negative ages. That's dumb. I mean, who cares if you're a year from being born? Nobody knows when you're going to be born. And also another limitation of this problem is that unless they were born on the exact same day, it's not going to be exactly 5 years. But anyways, we're not going to get into that today. That's for another time. But anyways, as you guys can see, this is the graph of that equation without the context. All right? So I want you guys to do these, and I want you guys to come down here and get some more graphing practice. Convert these to slope-intercept form. It's not that hard. We just got to make it look like y equals something, okay? As long as you make it y equals, you guys are going to be good to go. As always, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you hit like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you are ringing that notification bell so you can see these videos as soon as they come out. As always, guys,